The winter is approaching. I think it's a good time to go inward, upward. So this is really beautiful time, I think, in Chandigarh, especially the months of October, November here. And this topic is also very special. I think it's special for most of us who have been, because somehow Seva has been a great opening through which we can offer ourselves up to God. And there are times when meditation is not working, but through Seva, we are able to offer ourselves completely to God. It's really a wonderful way to offer ourselves. And there was one time, somebody asked Swami Kriyanandaji, as you all know, Swami Kriyanandaji, the foremost disciple of, the direct disciple of Yoganandaji and the founder of Ananda Sangha. So somebody asked Swami Kriyanandaji, what is your sadhana? What is your sadhana? And if somebody asks us, what would we answer? What is our sadhana? Kriya Yoga. Meditation. Okay. You know what Swami Kriyanandaji answered? He said Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva and meditation. Because somehow he did not think his sadhana. There's also one more story where a person comes to Swami Kriyanandaji and he says, my everyday morning I wear my dhoti, I do my sadhana, then I go to work and then I come back. I keep waiting when I can come back in the evening and then again get onto my puja clothes and then do my sadhana. And Swami Kriyanandaji felt, okay, this is a waste of time. What is he doing for the rest of the day when he's not doing his sadhana? When he's not doing his meditation. So here again the question of what is our sadhana, when we think of it, I think Swami Kriyanandaji is a great example for all of us how to be better disciples. So in the same way, if from now on, even if I know you are already thinking that way, but even from now on we can consciously make that effort. So what is our sadhana? It will be Guru Bhakti, because all time, 24 hours we can offer ourselves up to God. We can speak to God. We can chant His name. We can do japa. All these things, Om Guru, we can do his japa, we can chant his names, we can learn chants, and even we can speak with others with that same joy of God. So it's always important that we continue to remember Guru Bhakti is so important, because when there is Guru Bhakti, then even when we serve others, because service is very important, then we can bring in that same energy and we can pass it and share the joy with others. And again in meditation, it's always hard to meditate after you have had an angry conversation. Is that true? Or after you have fought with some person on the road, you have torn his shirt and he has torn your shirt. It's always hard to meditate. But I'm not saying anybody of us has to do that or will do that, but I'm just saying, so it's always important to be in that state of joy, to be in that centeredness, and to the extent possible. Sometimes we have to be strong. We have to be like thunder and lightning when principles are at stake, like Master used to say. So it's always important that way for our Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva and meditation. Please come in. Yes. Because sometimes we think on spiritual path we have to become doormats or something. You all know the story of snake, I think. You know the story of snake, right? I'm not going to repeat. No, I will have to repeat a little bit. Okay. So this is the story of a snake. This snake used to hiss at people, and all the children and all the villagers were always afraid. So what happens? But this snake was also a disciple of a sadhu. So the sadhu came to know that this fellow was creating so much trouble, and he said to the snake, why do you try to scare everyone? Try to behave. And the snake, the sadhu had to go somewhere for 20 days. So the snake tried to tune in, what is sadhu trying to tell? But somehow he did not have that complete attunement with the sadhu still. So he was still, so what happened with this snake then? This is the story of snake. So what happened? So sadhu had told him to follow and to not scare the villagers and the boys. So what happened? The snake comes, it start thinking, whenever people came now, it stopped hissing. So children started to go, maybe they were 20 meters away, now they started to go 15 meters closer. Day by day they started going closer and closer. Snake was okay. But then suddenly they started pulling its tail, they started flinging it in the air, they started beating it with a stick. It started getting hurt, and the snake was like, oh, my sadhu, my teacher has told me not to scare them, not to do anything. Or it understood that way. And then after 20 days, it's almost, I don't know if snake can get fractures or what do they get, but it was so, they had to take it to a hospital, such sort of condition, ICU maybe. So what happened then? The sadhu came and he scolded the snake. What are you doing? What happened? You told me, no, Guru, I followed your teachings. You did not follow my teachings. You followed your own teachings. Snake, I told you not to bite them, but I did not tell you not to hiss. Sometimes when these things are at stake, principles are at stake, or whenever you are being troubled, you have to be strong and you have to tell them, otherwise people won't understand. But you don't have to become angry from inside. You can still remain calm and you can still become angry. Like this story of Yogananda ji, once he was scolding a disciple, there was 2 disciples in the room. One was standing here and he was scolding this disciple. He was walking back and forth. So he used to walk, he used to scold that person, come back and he used to wink or smile at this person who was standing there. Just to show that inside, we have to be calm. So even at your workplace or anywhere, we have to be strong with children as they grow up, or with this thing, or they can take advantage and they don't understand many times. Not many people understand just the language of love. Sometimes they might have to be said in little more stronger ways so that they can come out for their own benefit, not for our own. I'm not saying this from egoistic motivations. So we all have to understand, we have to pray to God and Guru that we don't have to go in that direction anytime. But if we have to go, we have to remain calm and we have to tell it in a strong but a gentle way, calm way. So in the same way, so Guru Seva, Guru Bhakti and meditation. So also, I'm reminded of one more incident now. This is the story of Vyasa and Krishna. I think you know this story. How many of you know? No, I think all the known culprits are nodding their heads that they don't know, just for your sake. I think this is the story of Arjuna and Krishna, where Arjuna asked all these questions in the Gita, but we all know he asked for all of our sake. And we all know Yogananda ji was Arjuna now, he himself said. So in the same way, this is a joke. When I go to my earthly family and we have this joke, I'll tell you after this story. What happens is, now all the gopis, Krishna, this is Jamuna, who all have gone to Vrindavan here. Okay, I think next time a trip is getting planned, looks like. So in Vrindavan we have this excellent work of serving matas, and you all know how heart-filling it is when we go there and serve all of them. So in the same way, so in that region there's this river Yamuna, that flows, and sometimes the water level rises. There are sometimes the water level recedes. So usually Krishna was sitting on the other bank, and all the gopis used to serve Krishna with master called this paneer, cheese. Yeah, so let's say they were all serving the cheese to Krishna, who used to enjoy what gopis used to bring, makhan. So what happened one day, the water levels rose. There was like a flood-like situation. What will the gopis do now? There were no boats that were happening at that time, or they was not happy to cross during that flood time, so now they don't know what to do. But they all knew there was this sage Vyasa there, sitting on this side of the bank. So he was sitting and he was looking at these gopis, what are they thinking, and he was in his own world. And gopis thought, okay, we'll do something, we'll ask Vyasa. And we'll ask Vyasa and let's see what he'll guide us. So they went to Vyasa and they told him, Vyasa, please help us go to the other shore. We have to feed Krishna. And Vyasa says every time, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You forget Vyasa. What is happening? Anytime do you think you should even feed me? So all these gopis are wondering, what is this? Is he a devotee of Krishna or is he a devotee of ego? What's happening? They're wondering what's happening here. And so with all this happening, they're always, now gopis think, okay, let's give him. Okay, otherwise we can never cross over and we can't even feed Krishna. Let's feed him. Yes, please. Okay, yeah. So this is so as this is happening now, gopis finally decide, okay, let's give our tributes to Vyasa. So once we give tributes to Vyasa, maybe Vyasa will get us a way to cross over the ocean. So they give Vyasa the cheese. And Vyasa eats to his heart's content. His stomach is bulging and he's enjoying the cheese. He's already going into almost a sleepiness state and he's enjoying it. He says, okay. Now almost when the cheese is finished, he eats so much and then says, okay, now you really have to go and feed Krishna? They say, yes. But they know that there's only little cheese, but they say, okay, let's anyway go. And so Vyasa, please help us. And so Vyasa goes to the river Jamuna and he says, if I have not eaten any cheese, Jamuna part the way and allow these gopis to travel and cross across this thing, Jamuna. And gopis are all wondering what's happening. How come he's saying all these things? In front of us, he ate all this cheese, and now he's saying, if I did not eat, let the river part. And what happens to the surprise? The river really parts. And the gopis never understand, but they say, feeding Krishna, offering to Krishna is more important. They cross over and they go, and Krishna is sitting on a tree. He's very sleepy state. They go, Krishna, Krishna. They try to tap him and try to wake him up, and then say, Krishna, we have brought cheese for you. And you know what Krishna tells? Krishna says, no, that flow on the other side of the bank has fed me so much. I don't want any more cheese. What are you saying? Cheese, cheese. And the gopis don't understand, but still Krishna takes some cheese. But then the gopis start wondering what really happened here. Because Vyasa is one of the highest disciples, great disciples, and he's showing us example again and again with the how can we spiritualize our whole life again is the question. Because like Swami Kriyananda ji said, sadhana is Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva and meditation. So whatever we do, we have to do it in terms of Seva. We can't think that only when we are coming to temple and offering the diya, only that is Seva. It's not Seva when we are cooking food or when we are anything. But we can make it a Seva when we can offer it to God. In the same way, what happened here when Vyasa was eating the cheese, he was offering it up to Krishna. So as Vyasa was offering it to Krishna, so the joke is sometimes with my mother, sometimes we keep eating and sometimes in between we ask each other, is Vyasa eating or are you eating? So each time you can play this game with each other and just make sure who is eating. So next time you're eating. So it's always in all things. Like also I think Bharat was sharing last week that even when sometimes we are doing something that we don't like, even then if we include God, somehow we can purify the actions. So in the same way, whatever it is, you think of things. For sure the Guru Seva, by serving the Guru, it's a big channel. Because I'll also share what happened was, I came to Ananda in 2014, but 2017 when I moved to monastery, it's also somehow everybody might have understood out what happened was there's also some sort of honeymoon period in spiritual part too. In the beginning we feel like all experiences or all good things are happening, or meditation is going so deeper, everything is going so well, there's no troubles, and suddenly you start realizing something. The meditation start going dry and you're wondering what's happening. And it happened to me 2018 or 2017, around that time, maybe 6-8 months, and I'm asking Devarshiji, what is happening? He says, there could be dry periods in spiritual path. Sometimes it can be days, sometimes months, sometimes years. I said, what? Like, years? What? Okay, something is off here. What can I do? What can be done so that I can do better? I was just thinking and just going about whatever we used to do. We used to serve and I used to help with few things, website, and maybe putting up autobiography of Yogi or New Path into Ananda India websites, or just doing some sevas, keeping myself busy, shipping books for home study and other things, and calling mentors, and I was doing it. Then I started to realize somehow that experience also brought an opportunity, because in the meditation, if I could not dive deep, if I was doing my best, but also I thought, why not in the seva, I do my more, give my 110%, because many times we go about life. But then I realized, okay, in seva, I can immerse myself. I can do it with love. We do it with passion. Somehow we think that seva can be done only somehow by keeping a hand distance or something. But no, seva needs to be done with heart, done with all complete ourselves and complete energy. Like how a person would go having a desire for anything in the world, in the same way we have to bring that sort of energy and offer it, purify it, and or do it in the seva also. Like a worldly man yearns for money or anything like that. There's a whole saying, but in the same way we should bring in that energy, complete heart energy, complete spirit, complete energy, complete concentration. But to do all these things, all these techniques which you have been learning will be very helpful. But again, that period, it gave me an opportunity to offer myself completely that way. So once I started doing those things and offering myself in seva, my meditation started getting better. So it's a good thing that Guru Seva, because again Seva, service is joy. Also when we start serving this way, what happens? We are joyful. We'll be able to share that joy again in almost like love in action or service in action. This is action, it's not just words then. Also with service and meditation, also Yogananda ji shared, just doing meditation can make us lazy and just doing service can make us restless. So it's a good balance. But we all have to see until we reach the state of Ram Gopal Mazumdar, you might have heard, or maybe in a state where we can meditate for 12 hours, 18 hours a day. We still have to keep offering ourselves up completely to God. Okay, I'll read a saying, but I also was tuning into this. Devashiji's Kriya Yoga book, it's mentioned about this. Also, about eternal, this thing. Seva is a Sanskrit word that means service. Those who are too aloof or feel above the need to serve others invariably feel stuck in their spiritual lives. So just remember, if you're getting stuck in lives, just call Bharat and Shan. There are enough Seva opportunities, you don't know. Every day they keep dreaming, and we keep dreaming of opportunities so that you all have opportunities to serve. So don't worry, when they are there, make the best use of the time. Weekdays, weekends, except Mondays. Mondays is our center club. So a guiding principle in my life, almost like a mantra, has been a phrase from Autobiography of a Yogi, Grateful Service. This is Devashiji's, I've taken it from his book excerpt. Sri Yukteswar admonished the young Yogananda for certain erroneous lessons he had absorbed that had led him into agreeable delusions of irresponsibility. I think Yogananda also at that time was keeping the responsibility organization far away because he thought seeking God, and also then he realized, he tells later in the chapters that this is all examples for us where he said, yeah, I have to share this joy which I'm feeling of God with all others. So organizations is that way needed, at least like this families of hives, so that we can share the God's love. And so Yukteswarji chided Yogananda ji. Those who are too good for this world are adorning some other. So long as you breathe the free air of earth, you are under obligation to render grateful service. He alone who has fully mastered the breathless state is freed from cosmic imperatives. I will not fail to let you know when you have attained that final perfection. So I think this is a good promise they are doing. Whenever we attain final perfection, they are going to remind us. So until then, I think we can't. If there is a name for Seva register, if you have not signed up or something, please do it right away. Or even if you are seeing online, you can still register. I'll give you their email addresses. So it's very important, again, bringing back to the point that Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva, and again meditation. So it's always helpful to bring the balance in everything. So every day meditate in the morning, but bring that same joy, and maybe in the afternoons if you can take 5-minute long break. Even when I was serving in a corporate company, me and I had a friend, I used to have a buddy somehow, he was a meditation. So before lunch or something, we used to climb up to the roof. Somehow nobody else knew that place, and we used to meditate and come down. So somehow make some ways like that. So if we have a will, if there's always a way. And in some ways, if you can just pray to God. Even Yogananda ji found Tulsi Bosh shrine, like in the sense his house to meditate, because his house was getting busy. So all we have to do is pray to God, pray to Guru, and he'll show us the way. Okay, we have to, how can we offer ourselves completely to God? Because it's so important, because also energization exercises, maybe with this I'll end this satsang, but energization exercise is like a cornerstone of our practice. We don't realize the beauty of it. Many times people go almost to Kriya, and when we are looking at the applications, many people tell us, I do my gym, I go to my gym, I go to jog, I do all these things. Energization exercises, maybe I do few of them. We say, no, energization is a whole different thing, because there, what is really happening is you're using energy, you're sending it to different various body parts. You're also using will to move those body parts. So this will and energy both, and you're also bringing Guru's will and energy. So while serving again, Guru Seva, while serving anything, while washing dishes, if we can again become somehow, we can somehow be much more centered and conscious of Guru's energy flowing through our hands, then we won't become tired. There are many stories, I think we also would have realized now serving in some ways, that sometimes we don't feel tired. We can go whole night and even maybe whole day if needed when we are serving like that selflessly. So it's always very important. So maybe next time onwards when we all do energization exercises, maybe let's instead of just thinking of doing it in a normal way, just take your time, become centered. Even if you want, close your eyes, feel the energy flowing through your hands, Guru's energy, Guru's joy, Guru's love, and you can send out the will. And even as you keep doing activities throughout the day, I think this is the same theme. I think we keep repeating it across the satsangs, that somehow to spiritualize our entire day. So I think as we all grow, it also becomes a responsibility to share it also. So even when you're walking on the road, somehow a smile, or somehow share the buckshots of smile, is what Yogananda ji used to say if needed. And sometimes people might think it's strange, what is happening. So, but I'm just giving you an example. Yeah, just go, even just pray. Maybe you don't have to tell anyone that you're praying for someone. You see someone sad on the road or something, just send a prayer to them. And you never know how these prayers impact, because it's always hard. Somehow there's a veil here that doesn't allow us to see the impact of our prayers or impact of others' prayers. So many times you're feeling good, just don't think you're feeling good because you're good. It's many times there are many people praying for you, which you're surrounded by this bubble of joy, and we never realize until later. I think Guru and Gods will show us later at the end of the life, maybe that show. But it's always important. So we have to do our part. And as we become, the channel is blessed by what flows through it. So as we keep doing this, and we'll keep serving, and each time you come here, don't think I'm just coming for myself. I think you come here, you add to this energy. So each time, please try to come to centers and do whatever you can to help increase this light and energy. Like Babaji said, somebody complained to Babaji, I think, what is this world state of affairs? As we all see, if we see the news, every time we get the same question, and Babaji replied, my purpose is to increase the light. So once we increase the light, the room gets lit up and the darkness fades away, darkness flies away. In the same way, as we keep coming in, let's keep bringing in this light, joy, and we'll keep increasing it. And again, thank you for joining today.